From the Patricia Lindley Center and the Patricia Lindley Studio in the Patricia Lindley Center, welcome to another episode of Dialogue with the Dukes. I'm your host, Bill Berger, and today's show is being brought to you by the Bread and Brew Restaurant located at 100 South Main. You may notice in previous episodes this year, we had one particular studio set up. Well, we have a different one today because we are set up with the podcasts that are going to be talked about later on in the show. But we're going to be talking specifically about CTE, or Career Technical Education, not to be confused with the CTE known as chronic traumatic encephalopathy, which has to do with concussions, which were made famous, shall we say, by the movie Concussion starring Will Smith. Today, we have Miss Dottie Cianciola. She is the manager of the Patricia Lindley Center for the Performing Arts. And we have the stage, screen, star, musical band director, union president, and teacher here at Wellington High School, Mr. Dave Conklin. So welcome to both of you. My first question goes to you, Mr. Conklin. Why were CTE classes, or Career Technical Education classes, actually created?
It was a state initiative, and Career Tech Ed in the performing arts pathway is specifically what we're now offering Wellington High School students. And it's got a theater focus, a video technology focus, a communications focus, anything in the performing arts. And the state offers it to get more students into connection with community, and I think in connection with more alternatives to a college, just pursuing a college degree, even though these contribute to that as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, Ms. Cianciola, how is the Lindley Center being used in this new program, and what are the 5 new classes that are being taught?
Okay, it's being used 5 days a week, basically holding the classes, the CTE classes here. And the classes are a performing arts primer, intro to theater is what we're currently calling it, acting and script analysis, stagecraft and stage design and construction, and arts and communication primer, which is also communication in the digital age. So encompassing all 5 of those disciplines, students get a very well-rounded idea of what happens within the theater.
Okay. Mr. Conklin, who can participate in these new classes, and how many students are in each class?
Oh, it's any high school student, as far as I know. I don't think there are any prerequisites. Some, like digital media, is split into 2 classes. So if you take digital media 1, and pass, you can go on to digital media 2. Intro to theater, I think, is the same way. They're all semester courses, so as long as you pass first semester, you get to go on to the second one. As far as the range goes, from 23 students in digital media to 6 in stagecraft and stage design. So it's a big, broad range. We've got those 2 classes combined.
It seems like to me, Mr. Conklin, that with the exception of the communication aspect of the course being taught, so much of this is, shall we say, geared to stage, screen, television, and so on, future careers. Is that correct?
And public speaking. Communication in digital age is a lot of that. And were you going to say something there?
We also have a class of 3.
Yeah, well, I put the 3 and 3. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Script analysis and acting, yeah. 3. And they're willing to go with low numbers to start because this is the first year. We're offering it. Better to offer with few students than not offer at all if they don't have enough. So it's cool. It's good.
Now, we used to have, Mr. Conklin, just digital media, and it was taught over there in class 99. Now, how is digital media, and it's still called digital media, I understand, how is digital media now blended into all these different courses that CTE is involved in?
Yeah, it's digital media this year. Next year, it'll be video production according to the state label. We're going to make that transition. But we do a lot of what we did, like these interviews, before, but with all new technology like we have right here now. So it's amped up regarding the technology offered. And also we're building right now, just in these last couple of days, a student-led theater production project that will span months. And digital media will be part of videoing not only the production, the final shows, but the process itself. So it's going to be incremental in getting the word out of the scope of all of these courses and how they're intertwined within the performing arts pathway.
Okay. Well, Ms. Cianciola, what the new equipment, as you can see in this particular shot, and the earlier episodes of Dialogue with the Dukes, what new equipment has been procured for this new program?
Okay, so over the summer, we started developing the program, and along with that, we approached the stage setup and design from the perspective of the production studio for some of our classes, and also allowing for all the many things that take place on the stage. So with that, all of our desks and chairs and all kinds of things are on casters, which makes an easy on and off move, which is really important. And then we did get like you said, the Rodecaster, podcast mics, that kind of thing, some new cameras, and it's growing as the time goes on with the equipment.
Well, obviously, Mr. Conklin, this is going to cost money. Where does all the money come from?
3 primary sources here. We have the Lindley Center board has supported anything that basically the district wouldn't support. The district then supports and provides money for what Lindley doesn't, and then the endowment, Wellington Endowment Fund, supported what Lindley and the district won't.
The Wellington Endowment Fund, I'm not familiar with that.
That's been going on now since, I think, the 90s. Yeah, I believe so. I think it was McGlamory who started that. I could be wrong, don't fact check me. But it's mainly, they're interested in, and they have supported, like the equipment I got over there in 99. A lot of that came from endowment money. So anything that went above and beyond what they feel the district should be responsible for, you can apply to the endowment, and if they approve your grant, they will offer you money and you can buy the equipment.
Who is the endowment fund?
It's Amy Sword's part of it.
Yeah,
Mike Sunderman.
Right, so there's community members, and then there's some people within the district,
Yeah.
school district as well. And it actually has a focus on performing arts. So that is where they gear most of the money to. So they were really actually very accommodating with us as far as, what we need to get this program going.
And then on top of that, there are state CTE grants, which we are going to start applying for here in the coming weeks. So plenty of money. A lot of people believe in it, and we're making their beliefs come true.
And that's fantastic. Well, when we come back after this message, we'll talk more about Dialogue with the Dukes and projects that are involved now and future projects. This is Dialogue with the Dukes.
Hey, you like food?
Well, take a little walk down the Bread and Brew. Here, when customers walk in, they can get Wellington's finest coffees and pastries, even with fast service. Also, there are many tasty pastries you can choose from, including a chocolate pastry, muffins, cinnamon rolls, donuts, and more. On the menu, you can find a variety of foods, going from breakfast foods to lunch sandwiches, then to soups and salads. For beverages, you can find tasty smoothies and iced teas. There's plenty of places to sit with friends and family. There's even a cozy lounge up front to sit in.
You can contact Bread and Brew at 440-647-0082. Trust me, Bread and Brew will satisfy you with everything.
We are back. We hope that if you like to get something good to eat, or if your organization needs to have a place to meet at, there's the back room at the Bread and Brew, and there's great food always at the Bread and Brew, located on the southwest corner of Route 18 and Route 58. We've been talking with Ms. Dottie Cianciola and Mr. Dave Conklin about this new concept that's being developed here at Wellington High School called CTE, or Career Technical Education. Ms. Cianciola, excuse me, this question's for you, Mr. Conklin. Previously, all we did was digital media. We were over there in class 99. The idea behind Dialogue with the Dukes was actually started many years ago. I think it was called audio-visual technology or something like that. How has that evolved as we now go into this new courses that are being taught?
Well, Dialogue with the Dukes keeps on going. This is our 8th year, as long as I've been involved with it. A lot of the projects that we've done in the past, like we just finished the Wellington Business commercial project, that continues a lot of in the same way. But we added to that, prior to that, a CTE promotional video to help prepare for the business project downtown. So a lot of it keeps on going. But how it's evolving now is becoming more integrated into like a current project, a current and future project that we're working on right now is this student-led theater production. And that involves all 5 CTE courses, from beginning with script writing. So we have 3 script playwrights, essentially. They are writing theatrical scripts, and they've been writing. We're going to have communications class promote, develop different promotional ads for it, commercials perhaps. This course here, digital media, as I mentioned earlier, is going to film the production of it and the final product, filming the performances on stage. Of course, the script writing group, they're providing the scripts that are going to be then put on stage on sets that are designed by the stagecraft and stage design class. Bringing them all together is going to be a student executive committee. Hopefully, our goal is 2 members from each class involved in that committee working to organize and create a workflow and communication process to where they essentially make the 5 classes a theater production company. So that is a huge evolution in pedagogy that we haven't done in digital media yet, and this will be the first.
Well, Ms. Cianciola, obviously, Dialogue with the Dukes has changed over the years, but now it's just literally ballooned, and you seem to be the one that's literally in charge of Dialogue with the Dukes now. With all this new equipment, how has this specifically changed? How has it specifically changed?
Well, I would say the content of the program is the same, but the venue is different. We're doing so far all of the episodes here at the Patricia Lindley Center on our stage. The number of students that we have participating in the video production class, I think, is the largest we've had at 23 right now, so it's a sizable thing. And the equipment that we've added has allowed for more student participation and more up-to-date types of things that students would use, say, if they're doing their own YouTube or their own broadcast.
What do you see from your aspect? Mr. Conklin's already talked a little bit about future projects. What do you see from your aspect as the manager of the Patricia Lindley Center?
As far as new projects go?
Well, looking down the road, what are future projects specifically having to do with the theater itself?
Well, I think certainly this career tech thing has expanded the number of things that we can do with the current generation.
Right, exactly.
So that's a big portion of it, is the fact that they will now have more things when they graduate from high school. If they pursue the different avenues of the career tech program, they're going to have more things to do, more knowledge about the theater itself, which is very exciting.
Well, Mr. Conklin, you already talked a little bit about the future and so on, but I want to talk about one specific thing, and that has to do with the spring play coming up. We aren't doing, before we've always had, like, in fact, this fall, we're going to do Miracle on 34th Street. But in the spring, this is going to be something completely different. Let's talk about this spring play.
Yeah, speaking about completely different, when's the last time we spoke? Was that was that Monday? No. Last week?
Last week, yeah, last Wednesday,
I
think. Yeah,
had a plan last week, and it just shifted in the last 12 hours.
Oh, really?
To where, I'd anticipated this student-led theater production taking the place of the spring theater. Figured it couldn't do both. And then talked with prospective members of the executive committee. And did I do it again? Committee?
No, you said committee.
I did?
No, you said committee.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what's happening here. committee that I think we can do both. And so what the SLTP, which we're calling now, initials, that'll be done throughout the next 4 months during the day, during the school day. And again, this is all speculation yet. We're at the very beginning of doing this for the first time ever. But I think our goal is to be able to do matinees of the student-produced scripts and plays for high school students, maybe junior high. And then concurrently, using the regular schedule, which is 6 to 8 in the evening, building the spring play this year. And I think we can do it as long as the executive committee, there I did it again.
That time, yeah.
Executive committee can pull off setting this whole thing up, designing it, developing it through the day. I think we can do it and still have a modicum of sanity and still perhaps be able to speak clearly. I don't know. We'll find out.
Well, the final question goes to you, Ms. Cianciola. What do you think that CTE will do for future careers?
I think it offers students the opportunity to dive in and see what theater is all about in a way that they would otherwise not be able to do. And I've been in theater myself for 8 years now. And I will say I've had a lot of jobs in my lifetime, some very good ones, and this by far is my favorite. So I think when people develop a passion for theater, it stays with them for a lifetime. And I think what we're doing here offers a lot more students that ability to get that passion.
To my original question, though, with Mr. Conklin, though, it seems like this is all shaded towards theater. It's shaded towards a career and so on. And we want to provide more of an aspect for the entire student body in the high school, do we not?
Sure, and I think it succeeds in that way. I think that what we do here builds confidence, leadership skills, public speaking skills, that kind of thing. For someone that may have no other experience with theater, it provides that, as well as these production kind of things that we're doing, like right now. So it offers a wide array of opportunities for students to explore.
These CTE courses get more into the business side of theater than I've ever done in here, And our students will be able to partake in that, where the money comes from, stage construction, you know.
And the executive committee, like you're talking about with this new CTE thing, that gives them, they're like the CEO of a company. And
Producers.
they will produce, so they can come up with how they want the thing structured and run, with us giving oversight and guidance. So it's really just expanding in so many creative ways.
Well, as you can see, for people who are watching this episode, this CTE, or Career Technical Education, is literally ballooning, and as Mr. Conklin just talked about, it seems to be changing minute by minute, if not hour by hour, as far as how the programs are evolving here at Wellington High School. Well, we will be back again next week, we hope, with another episode of Dialogue with the Duke.